Ayo! Welcome to episode 10 of Create This Book 3 by Mariah Elizabeth and Ashleigh Monet. That would be me. As always, every Create This Book 3 video I've ever done is going to be linked in a playlist in the description. We have 4 prompts to tackle this week. So enough of me talking. Let's jump right in and see what I can create. Okay, first prompt of the week. Create an alter ego. Write your alter ego names and decorate the words to show off their personalities. I immediately thought back to the similar thing I did with my self-portrait page and Create This Book too. But hey, I'm not one to repeat myself, so let's outdo past Ashleigh. Whereas she only came up with the 2 personalities, I came up with 6. I, of course, consulted with my poor husband, who has the pleasure of dealing with me.
Why would I need to hit on another woman? You've got more than enough personalities to keep me completely occupied.
And together, he and I came up with a few other sides of myself. I know the prompt says just to do the names and decorate the words to match the personality. But come on, I've got to overcomplicate things and actually draw all of these little me's out. Let's start simple with the most basic, main part of my personality, Ashleigh. This is kind of my everyday nurturing mom side. You see I'm wearing my glasses. I don't have my extensions in. I'm rocking a hoodie. Mom Ashleigh just doesn't have time to bother with all that fancy stuff. I've got a zillion other things to balance with raising these children, but this is the side that also experiences some of the happiest, craziest, most rewarding moments of my life watching my kids grow up. The next alter ego is Monet. As you can probably infer, this is my YouTube artist side. She's creative, ambitious, and as bubbly as any personality of mine will ever get. I'm not delulu about how abrasive I can be. She's also the most visually put together of the bunch. Always gotta be camera ready. I tell you though, it is quite entertaining to witness the transformation I undergo on a day I need to film an intro. Crap, I meant to be labeling these as I go. Ashleigh, with a sweet kind of neutral font, generally kind of how I write. And then Monet. And that's much more like my signature that I put on all my art. So alter ego number 3, I've named Ty. See, Ty is the home project DIYer. Crafty, resourceful, and benefiting from, well, an artistic eye, she's always down to put some elbow grease into a project in order to save some moolah. Several DIY home projects have been successfully carried out at my house, and I think the average person just wants to assume credit goes to the husband for that. Nay, that is all Ty. I chose Ty for her name, in part because it's on the more masculine side, and Ty Pennington, ayo. Okay, alter ego number 4 is Eileen. So this one legitimately terrifies me. She generally only comes out when I'm on the road. I do regrettably have awful road rage. Like, it's just terrible. As often as possible, I avoid driving so Eileen doesn't come out. If you haven't connected the dots, I named her Eileen in the spirit of Eileen Wuornos, only because I sometimes worry she's capable of anything. Hashtag still not on Snapped. I did implement a system of using some sort of accent or character voice whenever I drive. That way, if I say something angry, it keeps it light. Like, I don't want to traumatize my kids or anything. Alter ego number 5, I've named Veronica. She's spicy, my inner biatch, if you will. Not in a volatile way like Eileen, though. Veronica's rage is quieter, served up in doses of sarcasm and below-the-belt biting remarks. More often than not, she chooses to present herself in those awesome 3 days prior to the bloodletting. Fun fact, Veronica was actually a contender for my actual name. My dad's name was Ron, and I guess he wanted his name carried on in his child. Mom vetoed that, though. And for my final alter ego, we have number 6, Izzy. Ironically, Izzy was the one responsible for this drawing. Cody had said that I legitimately become a totally different person when I get in the art zone in the wee hours of the night. That person locks in with an intense laser focus and the rest of the world disappears. The hours then feel like minutes, and the next thing you know, the whole night has slipped away and she hasn't gotten a wink of sleep. I named her Izzy because it sounds kind of erratic the way she is. Izzy the insomniac. Busy little Izzy. Okay, basic outline done. Now let's add some details. There we go. Now, I'm sure there are even more sides to me than this. Those were just a few key players that Cody and I were able to identify right off the bat. Now let's go ahead and color these many me's. Now for the background, since there are 6 sides here, I wanted each one to be associated with a different color of the rainbow. I chose yellow for Izzy, like it's an energetic color. Green for Ashleigh, since she's kind of the neutral personality. Blue for Monet, honestly, because it was the next color in the rainbow. I hate blue. Purple for Ty, I feel like that's a good color for creativity. And of course, red for Eileen, so much anger. And orange for Veronica, similar to Eileen, just not as intense. She's threat level orange. Went through thickening up a few lines throughout and added a few juicy highlights. And here they are, all finished. A fun little collection of the number of alter egos shoved inside my psyche. Please send prayers for my family. They get to deal with all of these girls on a weekly basis. Okay, next prompt. Create energy. Make this page look like pure energy. Let me start by taping the edges and painting in this purple gradient background. I wanted to tweak this prompt a little. I converted these little windmill doodles into atoms and added some like glowing energy waves dancing across the bottom of the page. Let's do another big atom right in the middle of the page. And how about some lightning crashing down? We've got all the energy happening here. Now, while this base dries, let's shift over to the other page. This side is going to be a stage. Using a black paint pen, I'm drawing all of that metal scaffolding that holds the stage lights. I don't know. There's probably an actual word for that, but I don't know. Now I'm using my juicy highlight pen to add the glowing little details over all of the energy on this side. And now I can add the lights over here. A little brush swipe and some finger blending, and it looks like light being cast onto the stage. Ooh, yeah. How about some cool ground effects too? Let's do it like a little fog machine is going on this stage. But who, you ask, is performing? It's Powerline from the Goofy movie. One of my favorite cartoon icons. You may be asking, what exactly does Powerline have to do with energy? Other than his name, the atom symbol on his jumpsuit, and his energetic bangers that still slap today, not much, but there was a funny little story that led me to pick this guy. See, my original plan for the prompt was to make a page dedicated to coffee. After all, that is my source of energy. But the day of, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. It was too basic, too boring. Scrambling for an idea, I asked Cody what he would do. He gave me a few no-go ideas, like the villain from Paw Patrol 2, but I'm used to that. Usually he shoots out a few duds before there's something that he says that just inspires me. Now rewind a few hours, and I had come across this reel on the gram with some guys reenacting the Powerline concert scene from the Goofy movie. Ever since seeing that, the song had been stuck in my head for hours. But mind you, I hadn't been singing it out loud or anything. So it's currently playing in my brain, and Cody suddenly says, "Hey, what about Powerline, from a Goofy movie?" I mean, what are the chances? Sometimes I think he has telepathy. Anyways, I just had to honor that serendipitous moment and choose Powerline for the prompt. I mean, that was fate sending me a very clear sign. Now that you know who's headlining, let's go ahead and add his name to the page. I had to cut out the footage of me finishing that. I had to be right up on this page, but now we can glue in Powerline. And this page is done. I don't have much to say about it other than I love it. There are some things that just work for you, and this one works for me. It's so nostalgic. I love everything about it. Now on to the next. Create a community. Design your own community filled with your favorite restaurants and places to shop. I can't lie, there's no way a person is going to love all of the prompts in a prompt book. And this one, I just was not stoked for. Still, I did my best to push past, and I'm honestly okay with the end result. The one concept that did come to me for this was a kitty commune. So that's the direction I went with it. This is going to be a gated community based around the residents' love for our cats. Yep, did that shape on purpose. This community will have lots of amenities, but the notable thing about it is that every location, every shop allows cats to come and go with or without their owners. We're talking free-range cats everywhere. So here in the center, we've got 2 little cul-de-sacs with houses. There are only 6 houses, one for me, and the others will be filled with my closest friends and relatives that are also cat lovers. And right in the middle there, we've got the school. I've commuted to Landon School for a few years, and it's brutal. I need something in my backyard for the kiddos. For recreation, we've got a little pond here for fishing, a playground for the kids, and even a little kiddie park with walking paths surrounding it all. Let's add a little dock to that pond. And how about some picnic table pavilions too for parties and cookouts? All right, I'm just scribbling in stuff for these playgrounds. And everyone in the kitty commune has the luxury of a pool in their backyard. Also wanted some of those fancy fountains on each of the corners here. These pools are like right up on the house and the fence. They are not up to code, I'm sure. We don't care. One thing I loved as a kid and have major nostalgia for are drive-in theaters, so this commune has one built in. Maybe once a week, all of the residents have a nice little movie night. Add a few cars around the place, although really the community is so small and everything we need is there. We could probably just walk wherever we need to go. Now time to start adding labels to everything. There's that fishing pond, the playground for the cheer-in, and the cat park, of course, the school, and these buildings over here are going to be for our medical needs. There will be doctor's offices, also a dentist, and attached to the back, a vet clinic for our fur babies. There's the drive-in, and it's time to start focusing on all of our shops. First off, thrift shop. I could thrift all day. For real, for real.
This big one, it's an Amazon warehouse. I'm not proud to admit that I Amazon 90% of the things I buy. What can I say? It's the reality. It's super convenient. There's a crazy selection. And hey, maybe with this warehouse being right in the commune, 2-day shipping will actually take 2 days like it used to.
This one even has a pickup option, hence the driveway loopy thing. Now for groceries and household items, gotta have a Target. And no cat commune would be complete without a cat cafe. This is where we can adopt more cats and enjoy some coffee with our furry companions. This cafe will serve only the best Dutch Brothers coffee as well. I don't think I have a need for many restaurants because I prefer to cook at home, but I wouldn't hate having a Chick-fil-A in my commune.
Opened on Sundays, of course.
And for all of my artsy crafting needs, a Michael's Craft Store. And probably my favorite restaurant, Chipotle. I never get sick of it, but they have so many combinations, like how could you? One day a chicken burrito, the next some steak tacos, and my last shop, IKEA. Oh, IKEA. What an adventure. I could spend an entire day in IKEA literally just window shopping. I love it there so much. So in hindsight, I'm pretty happy with this setup, but I do think that my compound needed a Home Depot. I added those medical offices for safety, practicality, and convenience, but now I'm sort of thinking, we could drive for that stuff. I love Home Depot. Now it's just a matter of coloring all of this in. glue it into the book, and there it is. I will say, for not being excited about this prompt at all, I'm actually happy with what I made. It would be a real dream to live in a place like this, and I can say that if I did, I feel like I might never want to leave. Last prompt of the week, create a starburst. Draw lines stemming from the dot on this page. Easy enough. Time to whip out my biggie ruler to sketch these lines. I was just eyeballing it. I could have measured to be really precise, but ain't nobody got time for that. Now for the paint. I really didn't know what to do with this starburst prompt, so for lack of any creative ideas, I chose the answer that was staring me in the face. Starbursts. Yes, the candy. So I made that background starburst an alternating pattern of yellow, orange, and pink. Because I am of the belief that the red starbursts are absolute garbage. Uh-oh. The last time I said something was garbage, I lost 3 whole subscribers and was told I shouldn't get political on here. In such a situation, one can either back down or double down. Now, which do you think I'm gonna do? At the end of the day, this is my channel. I'm not gonna be silenced on my channel. I talk about my art and the thought process that brings me there. And I am not aiming to be political or push any agenda, but hey, my opinions are gonna come out when I'm talking about my thought processes. If you disagree with me, that's totally fine. I absolutely think it is possible to disagree with someone's worldviews and still appreciate their craft. You don't have to leave. We're all grown here, and our differences are what makes us special, at least I think. That being said, the red starbursts are trash, and you can't convince me otherwise. The best by far is the pink, so I chose to put that right in the center of our background starburst. I want to cover up these stars, but my paint isn't quite opaque enough, so let's start with a layer of white for now. And if you were wondering what this big yellow blob was going to be, just the Starburst logo, of course. It's not perfect. Fonts are always super tricky for me, but you know what? It's close enough that I'm happy with it and we can move on. Now, juicy highlight time. Okay, just need to clean up some of these lines, and I had completely forgotten about what I was doing up here with the prompt. Let's add the other colors in. I want this logo and the lone starburst on the right to pop, so let's go ahead and add a little more highlight and then a shadow underneath them. And that's it for this one. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, while there wasn't much to it, I really do like it. I was talking about the Create This Book series and had said that prompts like this are one of the things I love most about it. Like, what other situation would allow me to just draw an ode to something as meaningless as a Starburst candy with no question? And with that, another week has come and gone. Let's go ahead and do our little recap. We created an alter ego, or 6. I had a lot of fun self-reflecting and trying to come up with the different personalities that I can exhibit on any given day. I loved throwing the rainbow in there, and the cartoony style was a bit of good fun too. We created energy, a page full of electrifying nuclear energy surging from the concert of Powerline, Disney's own version of like a Prince Bobby Brown hybrid. This guy had the bops. I loved them then, I love them still, I always have, I always will. Definitely my favorite of the week. We created a community. I made my own kitty-friendly compound with a slew of amenities to keep the residents entertained, and a few of the best brick-and-mortar shops to where if I was living there, this would be a haven and I truly wouldn't feel the need to leave. And lastly, we created a starburst. For the background, I painted a starburst, then plopped a starburst on top of that with the Starburst logo on the other page. Starbursts on starbursts on starbursts. It's like Starburst Inception. Simple, straightforward, and fun. I had a good time with the prompts this week. Thank you so much for watching. No bonus video this week. I am working on some stuff behind the scenes and it's going to take a little while for what I'm doing to culminate into an actual watchable video. So please be patient with me, and until next time, goodbye.